what does it mean when you're in a fam? And like, parang, to kind of put it in specifics, like, sometimes you have tie-dyes. You've got like baby tie-dyes. And then there's like junior, I don't know if there's a junior, but there's like different like levels of names, like junior, baby, things like that. How does that all relate? So can you talk about fam, and then can you also talking about how you sort of earn names? And at the same time, with these names, it's like some people have different names pa. Like they came in like with this, tapos they have this other name, and then this third name, and then it's just like andame. So maybe you could talk a little bit about that.
Okay. Generally, your fam is like a house. House, kumbaga sa walking. Tama ba?
Mm-hmm.
Tama ba? Sa Vogue, house na parang sa Vogue. But then, they created this kind of stages or levels where you go from, ideally, where you go from the lowest stage to the highest stage, which is the deuce, or sometimes it could be the twin, or sometimes it could be 50. It depends sa big homie. So I think the lowest stage would be tiny or baby. Yun yung lowest stage. And then when you go from there, kumare, it's either your skill in Krump, parang nag-improve yung skill mo sa Krump, so also yung stage mo nag-improve. But then, not every big homie does it the same way. Mm-hmm. Sometimes, kapag your commitment to the fam, kung gaano ka tumutulong sa fam, gaano ka talaga ka-fam, yung how you treat your other fam mates, dun siya talaga nagmamatter. So, I think it's 50-50. It's 50 of your skill and 50 of your personality, your heart sa community.
Nice.
So, yes.
I love that. Only, well, let me just kind of tap in on that what you just mentioned, in terms of not just your skill, but also your character, basically. I was at a studio one time, and they were giving out awards, and usually you get like awards for like the best dancer, most improved, things like that. And then they had this award where they gave it to the person, not necessarily the best skilled or all of that, but they were just the person that was voted on by everyone else in the studio. Meaning it wasn't an award that was decided by the faculty. It was decided by co-students, and it just shined an importance in terms of, not just like your skill set, but it's just how well you interact and connect and deal with people. The how people see you as a person. And it's always one of those things, like if people are in the sandbox and you can't play well with the other kids, it's going to be difficult for you to sort of advance in your career or different things like that. But if you're in a position where, people like working with you and you're likable, it's just much easier, I think. So that's a really cool, I love that, because again, more so than just skill sets, I've also said the same thing in my teams. It doesn't matter about like how good you are. If we can train skill, but I can't train you in your attitude. If you have an attitude problem, then it's going to be difficult for us to advance. So cool. I love that. So keep going. So you were talking about fams and all of that.
Okay. But then I just want to reiterate that not every big homie does that. Sometimes kahit hindi nila kakilala yung because sa fam namin sa big homie ko kay Kuya Pat, mas mas prioritize yung pagiging fam kaysa sa pagiging magaling. So it's really important for us to actually know the person personally, or at a close, I don't know, parang relationship pa, kesa sa being a stranger and then just seeing you, oh, this guy is good, so I'm gonna take him to my fam. But some big homies are like that.
Yeah.
But to keep it like really genuine or at its pure form, ganun talaga ever since sa Krump. Dapat sana. Yun yung ideally. And then, yung fams naman, it kind of, it's amazing kasi it creates a hierarchy na parang authority na automatic. Kumbaga, hindi siya set of rules, but if you know that is the big homie of your big homie, then you have to have some sort of respect para dun sa big homie ng big homie mo, kasi kumbaga parang mas mataas yung level niya, yung level niya, ganun. So nagkakaroon ng organization sa Krump na hindi naman sinasadya, which is I think is very good kasi magkakaroon siya ng, paano ko ba sabihin, Kuya Maya? ng, I don't know, hindi siya kalat-kalat. Hindi kalat-kalat yung community. So if something happens na hindi maganda, you know who to turn to. Like for this region, sino yung pinaka-leader nyo. Meron na siyang automatic na leader na kahit hindi naman talaga,
that's
ikaw
awesome.
Yung leader namin. Ganun. Kahit hindi ganun.
Wow.
So I think that's really great. Sa system. System.
I mean, yeah, that makes it really easy for you guys to connect with different fams. And I think that's also why the community is so strong, right? Because you operate off of that. It's not like you don't just get in there, tapos learn what you can, tapos leave. Like you're really just ingrained in all of that and connecting with people and getting to know them on a personal level, which makes the connections much deeper, which is really cool. You might be getting into this a little bit, but I wanted to ask also, so you mentioned names, right? Like parang you start from tiny and then you kind of go up depending on your experience. So like, is your name something that you earn or do you sort of come in and present yourself with it and then they'll adjust like your name as you go along? How is your name determined?
If you don't have a big homie name, so big homie name is parang your own character name.
Okay.
When you go into a fam, you will always take on the name of the big homie. So it depends kung what level yung prefer ng big homie na ibigay sa'yo. So it's not really you who's gonna, okay, gusto ko po maging girl. You can suggest na, uy, Kuya Pat, gusto ko maging girl side, ganyan.
Yeah.
Tapos sabi niya, sige, tignan natin kung kaya mo. Pero, but ultimately, the decision is with the big homie.
Right.
Yan.
And
then so, the level naman.
Okay, go ahead. On the level? On the level.
And then on the level naman, it's still talaga with the big homie. With the multiple names that you were referring kanina. I think it would be kasi meron siyang multiple fams. Kasi it's that loud sa Krump sometimes. Depending on the big homie again. So if you're a member of two fams, I could be Queen Haksayb and then I could be let's say na rin ako, Queen Vengeance din ako. Hello Ate Ab. So I could be Queen Vengeance and Queen Haksayb and Surge at the same time. Kasi Surge naman yung big homie name ko, my character name.
Got it. That's awesome. So the different names is really like the different fams that you're a part of. And that's cool kasi parang you're able to be part of different fams and that's okay.
Depending on the big homies.
Okay. I see. Yes. So okay, depends on like parang if you're gonna be with this particular fam only or if they're gonna be like, yeah, go ahead, like cool. So can your name change as you go along? So for example, because you said they sometimes they assign to you, right? Na parang paano kung nung una, kung paano ka gumalaw, they were like, uy, parang ice cream. So they're like, see, tiny ice cream, right? Tapos you get better. Tapos you're like, Kuya, ate, parang pwede na hindi ako ice cream kasi I feel like yung movements ko at saka yung character ko nag-evolve from yung una yung assigned sa akin. So, like, can that happen? Does that happen?
To change the actual name or to change the level?
No, not the level, but the name. Like the one that you first got there with. Na parang pag start mo pa lang, either you declared it or they said that this was your name. Does that just stick or are there chances where it can improve or maybe it doesn't even matter, like parang you just kind of do it kasi you let your skill speak for itself. I don't know.
Kasi when you go into a fam, you will always take on the name of the big homie. So that will never change. It's just the level that changes.
Oh, okay. So wait,
so it could be tiny Saib and then move on to girl Saib, move on to lady Saib. But the Saib would never change.
But let's say you go into a fam then, that means that there could be more than one Saib.
Sorry?
Could there be more than one? If let's say you go into a fam, you said that you're going to take the name of the homie, right? So if that homie has other apprentices, are they all also Saib then?
Yes.
That's okay. That makes it clear.
But not one person can only take one level. Or isa lang ang pwedeng maging lil side, isa lang ang pwedeng maging girl side sa fam. So, yon.
That's awesome.
Everybody takes on different levels.
Yeah, okay. Wow, so that's super clear. What happens if, you run out? Like, parang all the levels are full. Tapos may mga gusto pang pumasok.
Yes. You will never run out. There are the traditional levels, the baby, tiny, princess, queen,
okay.
And then there are the special names. For example, you could be Soldier or Mansa or Dark, or for Black Zik, Ghost, or Rugged or Wicked. You could assign like different special names, but still take on the last name. Parang last name po kasi yung big homie name.
Yeah. Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
For example, kilala niyo naman po si Black Zik?
Yeah.
So, ang special rank niya for 1K is Ghost 1K. So, that's not like a traditional level of the name, like Lil or Junior. So, yun po yung special names.
Okay. This is so, I'm amazed, it's so interesting, and I think there's going to be a lot of people watching this like, whoa, because ako personally, even before, I was experimenting with, this is back in high school, parang when I was also learning different styles. I got into Krump in terms of like movement in the beginning. Obviously, it was just starting out at the time, and then I was learning a bit about the culture, but I never was able to get so deep into it where it is now, where you've got this community and there are, levels and fams and things like that, that's why it's really interesting and you're able to sort of talk through that. So thank you for sharing that. I think I'm super like, whoa, dami ko na learn there.